Oliver Allred was born in Bessemer, Alabama on July 15, 1939. He was born to parents who were extremely dedicated to their Lord and their church. Ollie was immediately enrolled in the cradle roll and grew up in church. At age 6, his family moved to Huntsville, Alabama, where he graduated from high school. He was a member of the First Baptist Church of Huntsville throughout his formative years. As a young man trying to determine what to do with his life, Ollie attended the University of Alabama for a semester. A short time later, he entered the Army and reported to boot camp at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Ollie recalls the greatest shock about boot camp was, "I made it and survived." Allred served several years in the Army Reserve, both active and inactive, before moving to Albuquerque in 1960. Moving west had been encouraged by Ollie's doctors to provide relief for a severe asthmatic condition that had plagued him since childhood. Shortly after arriving in Albuquerque, desperately in need of a job, Ollie went to the only place he knew to go, the First Baptist Church. After meeting with Pastor William Wyatt, Ollie was introduced to H.B. Horn, who owned a number of service stations. Within hours, Ollie was given a job in one of those stations. Ollie made a career move in early 1961 into the mailroom at Albuquerque National Bank. Knowing that he needed a college degree, he enrolled at UNM, where he graduated in 1967. For the next 37 years, Ollie enjoyed a successful banking career with Albuquerque National Bank. Throughout many industry changes, he remained faithful until he retired in 1998 as Senior Vice President and Executive Trust Officer. Settled in his new job, Ollie soon began dating a young blonde lady who had a real challenge being punctual for dates. As Ollie would sit and wait for her, he struck up a friendship with her roommate, a Baylor graduate and local teacher, Patty Pfeffer. Soon, Patty became the apple of Ollie's eye, and they were married in December 1962. Ollie's life would be forever changed as God blessed them with 2 children, Julie in 1965 and Joe in 1969. Around Albuquerque, Ollie became well known as an outstanding athlete. Whether competing in softball, city tennis tournaments, or golf, Ollie excelled. Then, largely because of Ruth Hosley's influence, Ollie agreed to teach an 8th grade boys class at Albuquerque's First Baptist Church. Ollie's 8th grade class grew to 30 to 35 boys. Ollie has served on more committees throughout the years than he can remember. He was heavily involved in the church's bus ministry. As he continued to serve and demonstrate his commitment, Ollie was ordained as a deacon. He has served as church treasurer on 5 different occasions and continues to serve in that position to this day. Ollie's servant heart was not restricted to service within the church walls. One of Ollie's most rewarding investments has been as a board member and treasurer of the Noonday Ministry.
He was involved right from the very beginning at Noonday Ministries, and I also know that he's been very involved with the Gideon's organization over the years. So he's been a great blessing and asset to this community and to this church as well.
Ollie has served faithfully on the New Mexico Baptist Foundation board for 17 years. He was selected for an 8-year term on the Southern Baptist Annuity Board, known today as Guidestone.
When I came to serve New Mexico Baptist at the Baptist Foundation, I was encouraged to look at Ollie Allred to help the Baptist Foundation, to bring his expertise to assist folks throughout New Mexico. He brought that expertise, he brought that wisdom, and for a period of 19 years, he was totally committed to the folks of New Mexico, to ministries around the world. He brought that expertise, the wisdom, to the leadership, to the governance, to help set policies and procedures that elevated the ministries of the Baptist Foundation.
Ollie's always been willing to serve in so many different areas in the church as well as the community, and he's never looked for glory for himself. He's a humble guy and a guy who really loves God, and he just wants to make a difference, and he continues to until this day.
He's a joy to be with. He's a shining example of God's blessings, both to us as individuals and to the ministries, as well as to the community as a whole.
In 2006, Ollie faced great adversity with his health. Since that time, his continued optimism while facing these health challenges has been remarkable. Looking back, it is easy to see that Ollie was brought up in a home that placed great value on serving.
I think in describing Ollie Allred, many wonderful things could be said about Ollie. But without question, Ollie Allred is one of the most compassionate human beings you'll ever meet. He truly, genuinely cares about people and has a wonderful heart.
Ollie Allred provides for us a living example of what a true servant should be. Tonight, we are proud to recognize Ollie Allred Jr. as a legacy inductee.